It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talk Flicks podcast. I'm your host, Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. And ladies and gentlemen, this past week, I got to go back into outer space and visit my most favorite franchise in the universe, the multiverse, any verse that exists. I went to the place called Star Trek. Yes, Strange New Worlds. And we get into that first couple things. I want to give a big shout out to the Philippines. Got to plays the Philippines this past week. Gracias, gratitude, todo. And Philippines. You guys listen to podcasts, listen to music. I really greatly appreciate it. And one additional thing, I know a lot of the Filipino community in my community here, in my area. Got a lot of the people from your land that came over here. Very cool people. Very nice. I've had some of your egg rolls, some of your food. Very knowledgeable, smart, speak multiple languages. I love you people. You guys are awesome. So thanks for supporting the podcast. And additionally, this episode is brought to you by the album called Well Fed by the one and only Sun Tzu Cosmic and Renalian, rapping about food and drinks and those kind of things. I guarantee you never heard an album like this in your life. So if you want to hear the album called Well Fed, that's all about food, I'll put it below. Check it out. Now, let's get on the podcast. So ladies and gentlemen, this past week's episode of Strange New Worlds was a comedy, and it was super funny. Vulcans were heavily involved. All types of jokes, hilarity, laughing, kind of poking fun at how Vulcans are. Now, as I viewed the episode, and they really showcased the Vulcans, which you know really well if you watch Star Trek for a while, and I know their mannerisms, how they operate, what they do, but in this episode, we saw the human crew change the Vulcans. And they went on a mission, changed the Vulcans, and they got the mission done like in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, 30 seconds, very quickly. And they like being Vulcans so much, they chose to just stay being Vulcans. But they had to be convinced to change back into human beings. And let me say this, ladies and gentlemen, I noticed that I kind of lean and operate very Vulcan-like. If you know me as a human being, you will know that I do move and kind of operate similar to Vulcans. I saw myself in the show quite a bit. As you know, I'm dating and with Renee LA. And the dynamic between us is similar to that because sometimes I do get nervous. Let's be real about it. And I can see how acting like a Vulcan can kind of get humans mad. I mean, I understand. So obviously I'm a human being, right? But I do kind of operate in logic and they're very calm, relaxed. And sometimes people think it's arrogant and be real. And I'm not arrogant at all. But I do think logically and I rarely get emotionally rattled. And I do try to get 2 things done quickly. And I just align with the way they move and think. And I meditate. And on top of that, I'm also a vegetarian vegan. Right, so I really do move and operate these guys. And so a lot of what I saw on the screen, I could relate to. Like, yeah, I'm kind of Vulcan-like, seriously. And my girl said the same thing. Now, one additional thing, you got to see the Vulcan versions of these people with their significant others, their women, their man, whatever. And like I said, I could really see myself in that. So this was a phenomenal episode, kind of showing Vulcans in a comedic way and get to explore their ways of being. And one additional thing too, they get a Vulcan expert to come try to mess with these Katras. And the Vulcan used to date number 1. And you can see the dynamic between them two, which is, oh my gosh, she's so in love with him and he's in love with her. But there's a scene with Spock and this Vulcan, I think his name is Doug. And real quick before I go any further, this guy named Doug, the Vulcan, had a very human name. And when I first heard that, I was laughing, bro. Because generally, Vulcans don't have like human names. I guess his mom or his dad or somebody like really liked Earth names, so they named their whole family like Earth names. It was crazy. And additionally, the guy playing Doug is the guy from King of Queens named Spence. I think Patton Oswalt or something like that. Very nerdy guy who's well known to a lot of movies and TV shows. Very cool dude. It was cool to see the guy Star Trek. So yeah, a great episode. Very funny. It was so well done. This show just keeps getting better and better. And there was one other thing as well I want to talk about. So if you follow Star Trek lore, you know that the Romulans and Vulcans are kind of from the same place. And it was interesting to see how the Romulan act versus the Vulcans. And so you can take efficient thinking, the same Vulcan sensibilities, and you can turn them really bad. So I guess the problem with having lack of emotion, just logical, is that sometimes you can do things that seem to be efficient and get things done quickly and take emotion out of it, and they're logical, but they are kind of bad or morally not maybe the best. But you can logically make that make sense. Get to see the Vulcan when she transformed into more Ryman than the Vulcan. Yes, so really great show. Love it. And like to circle back to the Vulcan that came to help the crew become human again, that was, in love with number one. There was a line in there where he said like, he wishes that he could experience humanity like Spock does, because Spock is half human, half Vulcan. And I'll be honest, over the years, I kind of more embraced a more logical, less emotional way of being. And he is right. I mean, I am a human being. I should experience the full humanity. So lately, in the last few months or last year, I've really been doing that. Me and my lady been going out, just really living life, experiencing all that life has to offer. And the dude is definitely right. Experience humanity is something we should do, because we do have the ability and the time since we're on Earth to do that. And he just says he wishes he could experience music and the various arts and these things, which I do all the time. So the lesson is, yeah, you could do logic, you could be Spock-like, but don't go full robotic coldness. Experience those emotions, feel them. So it makes us human. It's beautiful. So ladies and gentlemen, this episode is absolutely phenomenal. Star Trek Strange Worlds is phenomenal. Loving it. It's great. And thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you. Live long and prosper. Spock. Until next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks.